So the WNBA finals, it's happening, and this is going to be the preview of the WNBA finals. And yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting one. Obviously, first two games are going to be in New York, next two are in Minnesota, and lads, my bank account is €1,500 lighter because I'm going to game 3 in Minnesota. For that, if you guys could subscribe, be greatly appreciated. We're like 14 subscribers off, 37.5k. But yeah, my bank account, it cost me. I'm flying halfway across the world to go see this game, which should be an interesting one. But anyway, let's go and talk about it right here. Let's go and talk about the game. So these are the matchups. You've got the likes of Breanna Stewart. You have got Fee Collier on her team. And it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a lot of big games. And it's going to be good basketball. For anyone being like, oh, you don't like Aces or the Sun because of, like, well, race reasons. And I'm like, well, one, Fee is one of the best players in the W. Two, I don't mind watching the Aces as much as I hate watching the Sun. The Sun play vomit basketball. The Sun actively try to drag you down to their level, which is a horrible style of basketball to watch, especially because both the Liberty and the Lynx play such good basketball. The fact that the Sun, whoever the Sun would have played, they would have dragged them down to their level, and the Aces just play ageable. What do you mean by ageable? They play give it to Aja, and whatever Aja does, we will live with the outcome. They play Aja basketball, which is like, it is what it is. It is what it is when it comes to them. I think they both play really boring styles of basketball, which is weird because if you, like, Becky Hammond worked at the Spurs. The way the Lynx play is the way the Spurs played. I'm shocked that a Greg Popovich disciple would play as stagnant an offense the Aces do. But two best teams all year in the finals, which is a good thing. So, obviously, game one is going to be Thursday night. I'm going to be live for game one. I'm going to be live for game one. I'm going to be live for game two. And I'm going to be at game three. And then I am not going to game four if there is going to be a game four. I'm not willing to take the risk. Like, if I was to go to a game four, basically it was going to cost me an extra 600 quid. And I was not risking lack of game four. Like, I'm cool with guaranteeing that, but we have then got, like, if we look, these two teams played on the 15th of September near the end of the regular season. The Lynx beat the Liberty, and if you look at the Liberty's team, Stewie played 36 minutes, Breanna played 32, John Quell only played 22. But the one big difference is that I know Phoebus played 27. I'm pretty sure at this stage Sloot was still in the starting lineup, I think, by this stage of the season. And then for the Lynx, obviously, you've got Carlton, who balled out, and Fee Collier balled out, Courtney Williams, who's been absolutely hooping through the playoffs, and they've got a bench as well of, like, Hines Allen and Heidemann. So, like, they won that game. And before that in the season, the Liberty did go and beat the Lynx in July, and that was, I think, with no Stewie, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, Stewie did play. Stewie went 5 of 20, dear Lord. Breanna went 7 of 20, but that was when Lainey Hamilton pre-surgery Lainey Hamilton. So obviously she's not the same as she's not the same now as she was then. But, like, this looks like just it was a not great game all around for the Lynx. And the Lynx not only are playing better, they've also added like, you can't forget they added Maisha Hines Allen. And what did they give up? Sika Kone? And I like Sika Kone, but, like, come on. And then even at the start of the year, the Lynx comfortably beat them. It's the 25th of May. I think, was this their only loss? This might have been the Liberty's only loss up to that point. And the Lynx comfortably beat them. And, like, again, this is the Lynx when, like, Sika Kone was still on the team. They were trying to play Peely minutes, and they won. Like, they're just a really damn good team. And not only that, you can't also forget they beat New York in the Commissioner's Cup final. The New York Lynx, or the Minnesota Lynx, have had the number of the New York Liberty, but that doesn't always matter. that doesn't always matter because, again, I'm a Miami Heat fan. I remember that 2014 season when everyone talked about how the Brooklyn Nets have the number of the Miami Heat. How the Brooklyn Nets have their number, and then Miami, I think they might have got a game. I think Brooklyn got a game. That, like, Kirilenko, Pierce, Garnett, Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Brooklyn Nets team. And yeah, it is. Styles make fights, and the Lynx defense is going to give a lot of trouble to the Liberty. But the Liberty defense is also going to give a lot of trouble to the Lynx, because the best way to guard the way the Lynx play offense is to be able to switch everything. If you can switch everything, you nullify a lot of the off-ball movement, the off-ball cuts, and the off-ball screens that the Lynx so heavily rely on. And when the starting five are in the game for the New York Liberty, the only player that can't switch is Sabrina onto Fee. That is the only matchup I wouldn't switch. I'm cool with switching Sabrina Ionescu onto Alana Smith. Alana Smith is not a dominant back-down post player. She doesn't have the strength or the footwork of Fee Collier to dominate in the post. But I'm cool with switching Feebich onto Fee. They're probably going to start Feebich on Fee. I'm cool with switching Stewie onto Fee. Obviously, I'm cool with Jonquil Jones on her. I'm cool with Benijah Laney Hamilton on her. It's just when it comes to Sabrina, that's the one matchup I wouldn't like. And then, obviously, when Maisha Hines-Allen's in the game, I think this is going to be a series where it's going to come down a lot to when for lack of better words, like when teams go to what. Like the Maisha Hines-Allen minutes, you lose a little bit on defense as far as versatility, but when you've got Fee and Hines-Allen on the floor, the New York Liberty can't switch because there are two players that will just destroy Sabrina Ionescu on the inside. So they can't switch off ball too much because of how physical Hines-Allen is. But at the same time, if you have Hines-Allen in the game, you lose Alana Smith's defense, which is so important for the team. So obviously, it's going to be about rotations. This is going to come down to fine margins. And I think every game is going to come down to fine margins. It's going to come down to a lot of coaching decisions. And I think you can maybe argue that Sandy Brandello and Shara Reeve are two of the best in the business. So for me anyway, I'm like, it's going to come down to the Sloot minutes, when Sloot goes in, when Sloot goes out, the Hines-Allen minutes, because I think they match up too well to each other. Like, I think Courtney Williams is going to do as good a job as any on Sabrina Ionescu. And then when you have the ability to switch Kayla McBride onto her, to switch Bridget Carlton onto her, to switch Xanda Lassini onto her when Xanda Lassini comes on the floor, heck, even to switch Fee for a couple of possessions. When you've got that ability to switch everything, it can make things so hard for a point guard like a Sabrina Ionescu, because her ability to get space is going to be big. So off the pick and roll, there's never going to be space because they're going to hard switch everything. And she's not as good a passer as Caitlin Clark to punish that. So if you're asking me for my predictions, I think I said the Liberty all the way through. And then I think I went Lynx in 5 at the start of the playoffs. And I'm going to go, people are going to think it's going to sound crazy, but I'm judging by who has played best in the playoffs. And when they have played well, the Lynx have looked like the best team in the playoffs. I'll go Lynx in 5. I'll go game 5, Lynx in 5. I would be very tempted to go over to game 5 if it happens, but I'm making that prediction. That is my preview. That is my prediction. Lynx in 5.